bench is clear from the list that you've got. I've been able to promote some very good younger people to the cabinet, as well as bring back people who I think showed in opposition that it showed when they were out of government that they had done a good job. So I'm satisfied we've got the right team for the future. But obviously, where we can strengthen our government, we will do so, and we may again use this avenue of appointing people from outside government to the House of Lords to strengthen our team in certain areas. Yep. Andy.
Andrew Porter from Daily Telegraph. Prime Minister, can you just explain what Peter Mandelson's new job title means? Is it effectively a Deputy Prime Minister role, and is that his price for effectively shoring up your leadership over the past few days?
No. I brought Peter Mandelson back from being in the Commission in Brussels. Look, I think everybody in British business has recognised that he's done a superb job since his return, and therefore we've looked at the departmental structure and the National Economic Council. The Chancellor and I and Peter Mandelson and others have looked at it, and really Peter has got to have an enhanced role in leading the intervention, you know, for example in the car industry, but in other areas. We've brought together science and universities and obviously business and small business. You'll see other appointments made to that department to strengthen the relationships that we have with business over the next few months. So Peter's got an enhanced role, as I believe it is right, given both his experience and his contribution in leading the intervention in business. And he's got a role where he'll support me and the government in a wider role. Harriet Harman, by the way, has done a superb job, even in difficult times during these elections. She's been an excellent deputy leader for me, and she wants to continue with her constitutional work as leader of the House of Commons, and of course as a great deputy leader of the party. Yeah, I'll take. Yeah, thanks.
Ian Kirby, News of the World. Surely the decision to appoint Sir Alan Sugar as a sort of business czar shows again that you've run out of talent within the government and you're trying to grab a headline for tonight.
I think when I brought in Aridazi to be health minister, a surgeon who had huge experience in the National Health Service, it is now widely appreciated that he's done a wonderful job. I brought Mark Mallet-Brown back from being Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations to help us. Alan West, who was the former head of the Navy, in to be Minister for Security. And I could go through other names of people who have done an excellent job. I believe that the appointments that I'll make in future will be good ones as well, but I'm not going to confirm things until they are announced in full, as they will be in due course. But if leading businessmen like Paul Drayson, who's come into the government a few months ago, if leading businessmen like Mervyn Davis, who's the chairman of Standard Charter, feel that they can help the government, and we have got some of the best talent in British business now prepared to work in the government or for the government, then that is a good thing for Britain. We should applaud it. Far more businessmen and women should be able to come into government to serve the country. And as you go through an economic crisis, you realise the value of having these senior businessmen, not just in an advisory role, but right at the centre of government. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, William Green, political editor, Newcastle Journal. Prime Minister Stephen Byers this afternoon at the North Tyneside election suggested that you were perhaps a loser or perhaps a winner. Which one are you?
I've over my life, I think I've won a lot. I'm not complacent or arrogant about anything that happens in the future. Everything I've won or done has been fought for. I've not done anything except by hard work and determination. I've got resolution. I know when things are tough, you've got to be tough. And I know when things are difficult, you've got to face up to the difficulties. And I know one thing of everything that's happened to me during my life, and there's been a lot of things that people have been critical and everything else, when I've taken difficult policy decisions, that you've got to be able to stand up and say, I'm not going to walk away, I'm going to keep doing the job that I've set out to do. And that's my message. In fact, it's my mission to keep on with the job of building a better Britain and dealing with the problems in politics, the economy, and our public services that have to be dealt with. Yeah.
Prime Minister, can I ask about the realist in you? You're meeting the PLP on Monday. Will you tell them that you can win the next election?
Of course, because, as I said, I'm not complacent. But, you know, when the country sees a choice, and it's not simply a referendum about expenses or other things, as some by-elections have been, then people will have to make a decision. And look, the choice at the moment is, do you really want a party that would cut public spending and services, deny help to the unemployed and businesses at the time of a recession, if you walk away from people in the most difficult times they face and cut public services and help to the unemployed and business, no other country that I know of that is doing better as a result of the decisions they're taking have done that. So we are the party of active intervention to help things and not walking away. We're the party also that is building for the future by investing in the future and not cutting our way to growth. And at the same time, I'm sure that people will see that this government has recognised and taken action when we've seen a problem over the political system, and we will produce legislation in the next few weeks to clean up the political system. So that's what I think that people will see. Yeah.
Robin Oakley, CNN. Prime Minister, is everybody in the list we've just been given in the job that they were first offered in this reshuffle? Did any impose conditions for serving in your cabinet? And what difference do you think that this bunch of people can make compared with the previous bunch?
Well, first of all, nobody lays down conditions when they come into government. They come into government under this system as part of a cabinet where they agree to abide by the collective responsibility of the cabinet, and they're chosen and selected by the Prime Minister. Robin, you've been around for a long time, and you've seen many reshuffles. I hope you will agree that this one has moved ahead without you having to wait outside Downing Street for hours or more hours this time in the rain. As far as the new team, look, it's focused. Sorry?
Still do with the loo out there.
Well, let's see if our public spending programmes can allow. The issue, as you say, is we are focusing on three major issues. So I've chosen people. Look, on the economy, you'll see we've made changes in the way we structure government. On the Constitution, you will see that the changes that we're making with this National Constitutional Council, which will involve a number of key ministers. And on public services, look, Andy Burnham, Ed Balls, Alan Johnson at the Home Office, they're all determined that policing, hospitals and schools, they serve the public. It's not about serving the teacher or serving the nurse or doctor, however important they are, and I believe they are vital to our public services. It's about how the nurse and the doctor and the teacher can help the pupil and the patient, and that's really what public service has got to be about. Brilliant public service professionals, but services tailored to the personal needs of people. Now, I've chosen people to move this agenda forward, and I think you'll be surprised in how short a time you will see the prospectus that we are going to put forward for Britain's future. We've had an expenses crisis. It's lasted for a period of time. People have looked at all these expenses. We've decided to change the rules. This will be done as quickly as it can be done. But when people face a choice, it will be about the future of our public services as well, and it will be about who is best able to run and manage an economy in a global world, world that is very, very complex and difficult indeed. Thank you.
Alex Stevenson, politics.co.uk. Prime Minister, reshuffles are supposed to be sweeping examples of prime ministerial power and authority. Do you think today has been a good day for your premiership and for your authority?
I think you've got to look at the focus of this government. Look, what the public's not really as interested in as you may think is this personality or that. They want to know what are the policies, what you're going to do. And so clean up politics, new agenda, new way of doing it. Move the economy forward faster, actually, by some of the action that we're taking to bring things together today. And public services, people want to know that neighbourhood policing is going to work better. They want to know that the hospital guarantees are going to be met. They want to know that schools are going to be at the highest standard. They want to know that school leavers will have something to do this autumn. They want to know that there'll be places for people at college. They want to know that we're going to continue with apprenticeships. Now, these are the issues that people are asking about, and we are totally focused on these issues. Clean up politics, improve the economy and get out of this recession, but at the same time tailor public services to people's needs for the future so that Britain can build better for the future. There's two more, I think. That's great, thanks.
Fraser Nelson from The Spectator. Prime Minister, you said you're being candid with us today and you're quoting your father saying always be honest. Why then haven't you mentioned the cuts which you plan after the budget, after the election? The budget proposed, what the Institute for Fiscal Studies claims, was 2.3% cuts, year after year after year, cumulative 7% over 3 years across government departments. This is a hugely significant fact that will directly affect your public services. All I want to ask you, Prime Minister, and please always be honest, is this. Is the Institute for Fiscal Studies right? Do you plan 2.3% cuts in public services for 3 consecutive years?
Not at all. Public spending is rising every year. Just be absolutely clear about that. public spending is due to rise every year. You know, this year, the health authorities are getting 5.5% more. The school